Welcome along to the EXFL Tier 2 Season 7 Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. I'm everyone your commentator for tonight. And yes, we have an 18-minute qualifying session like usual ahead of us. And then I believe I've forgotten how many laps are in the race, but we're going to have a race after. But yeah, just getting all the final checks sorted. And then we should be good to go. People will be heading out soon. There we go, first driver out is the McLaren. And it is of Callum. Heading out the pit lane. Limiter off. And the first onto the track. Overcast conditions, shouldn't rain. Haven't seen anything yet, so things should stay like this for the session. Just a bit occupied at the moment. I need to upload last week's race onto YouTube. But yeah, speaking of last week's race, what a race we had last week. Probably got to definitely be in the top 10, maybe even top 5, where we had the closest winning margin in EXFL history of 8 thousandths. Yes, Pro Cody got his 3-second time penalty removed, but unfortunately it didn't remove the pain that he lost the race, like the race win on in the last few seconds, to this man, Lightan, who made his debut and ended up winning the race. Right, bear with. And there we go. Right, cool. Is Callum still on his thing, or is he starting a lap? No, he's still on his thing. Okay, cool. Adam can't watch the stream because he's working or something. Don't spoil it. Alright. Shout out to Beanmeister. Right then, here we go then. Already like a sixth of the way done with quali, and no one's even set a lap or started one. But here we go then. Callum 5 to cross the line. He got his first podium 2 races ago in Baku. Last time out in Miami wasn't the greatest race for him. P9, I believe, or 10. So here he's going to try and salvage a few more points, which is definitely possible as he heads through the first chicane. Very easy to mess up and ruin your lap right from the get-go after just going straight for about 10 seconds. Not really straight, but with the kinks. Now through the second chicane, a little hesitant, but kept it clean. And dipping a tyre onto the grass. Doesn't go too wide, no effects due to it. As he has the Mercedes of Pro Cody right behind him, going purple. Pro Cody and Mercedes in general hyped up to be the favourites this time round. They enjoy this track, they're good at this track. Let's see if they can deliver against the mighty forces of Alfa Romeo. Chaz F1 now heading into sector 1. His teammate right behind him, 24-0, solid first sector. And then we got the Ferrari of Billy. So Callum looks like he's already had his lap, but he's invalidated it. So he will rather go in or go for another one, which he does. Still got Horosia, Ben and Logan in the pit lane, and BRL Frozen on his outlap, looking to make history here tonight, to be the first driver in Tier 2 history to get 5 poles in a row. The record is 4, held by himself and the Fake TB in his first half season of Tier 2 Season 1, or years ago, 3.5 years ago that was, as Pro Cody goes 1.1 seconds ahead of Callum, and only 3 years later, could that record be broken tonight by this man? But unfortunately, the last 4 poles he's had, he's only converted 1 into victory. So, not a whole Leclerc kind of ordeal yet, but he probably will want to win tonight if he does get pole. So, Seb, only 3 tenths off Pro Cody's 15-0. They're setting 14s in time trial, so they will still improve, as will the track conditions. Lightan now heading through sector 1. 24-0 for Chaz, 24-2 for Lightan. Remember, one of his best tracks was Miami. That's why he had such a strong start as he slides his way out of the exit of turn 6. Speaking of Chaz, let's see. 24-2 as well. Looks like he messed up on his lap. Ollie making his debut today. Validators as he comes across the line. As Lightan 4.2 seconds down. So we have just over 13 minutes remaining in qualifying. The last 5 in the pit lane, Horosia, both Ferraris, as Callum gives up on his second run on the same set. Ben and Logan still not out onto the track yet. Oh, it's raining! I didn't even realise. Okay, so the conditions are going to change, and that might be it. Pro Cody may have just got pole here. I did not see any... Wait, what? Why did it look from that side, from that POV, that it was raining? Well, I'm definitely not the only one who saw rain there. But, okay, it's not raining. Never mind. Okay, so Lightan improves to be only a tenth and a bit behind. Chaz didn't improve. He came into the pits. As BRL Frozen, now by nearly 4 tenths, goes on to provisional pole. 14.7. And yeah, only 5 times on the board so far. Ollie still out there, and it's a valid lap up until now, so let's see where he can get. Here's Red Bull. It's a 15.8, 1.1 seconds off. So, made his debut, and he fits right into the Tier 2 lot, which is good to see. So yeah, half of the grid has time, half of the grid doesn't. And yeah, the second half, none of them are even out yet, apart from Callum, who's just heading out now. 11.5 minutes left then. So yeah, Chaz tried a few attempts, didn't have any luck with that. Horosia, I don't think he might have had a run but gave up. Callum, he's had a couple. Billy, he's had one, and I still haven't seen any sign from Ben and Logan. Logan sometimes likes to do that, maybe not set a time or quali and then right at the end deliver something. But yeah, Pro Cody already on the ball then, on his outlap. Heading out now to do his second run. See if he can find more time. 23.9. 23.8. Wow. 25.9. 25.6. Yeah, Cody 3 tenths to Frozen in the middle. 25.2. 25.1. Yeah, it's all in the middle sector that Cody needs to find his time. It's the most, well, sector 1's giving it a good run for its money, but sector 2 is arguably more technical. For most tracks it is anyway. Sector 3 is just pretty much this corner that you have to worry about, which he just invalidates practicing. The last 2 corners aren't terribly hard to get wrong. It's just about you braking into the penultimate, and then the rest, you should be alright. So we'll ride on board with Pro Cody then for this lap in the Mercedes around the Emilia Romagna circuit. DRS will flick on in the coming moments. There we go. As he crosses the line then. One of the longest runs down to turn 1. One of the most unusual runs down to turn 1, especially from a start. But then heading down into turn 1, he doesn't clip that yellow curb on the inside, takes it very nicely indeed. And if you can match up his 23.8, it'll be a solid first sector. Now through the second chicane, you absolutely want to plant it like that. And then through turn 5, he's using all the track. This is a brilliant first set to Pro Cody, who finds exactly 100th. He found the limit and he found more time. Now through the second sector where he needs to find the time. He's taken the hairpin pretty well. But now you want to flick your car right ever so towards the grass. He's not hit that apex on the inside, which is going to lose him more time. But now through the corners that just keep coming at you. Now can he go through it wisely? Yes, he can. No real mistakes outlying there, but could have taken more track, which he'll probably try in his final run. Now through the third chicane, he's taking pretty feistily until he has a massive loss of the rear. Too much curb, too much risk, not enough reward. And now just calming the mind through the final 2 corners when you approach them. And once again, Cody has lost the rear. Just not enjoying the track how it is, and he will pit. That is his lap over and done with. He knows he can find time. But what about Lightan, who starts his lap? Still got Seb, Ollie, Callum, Chaz has finished his lap. How much can he take? He took it much better than Cody there. He's able to turn the car and it will respond. And there is finding his time. 49.8. Now heading through the chicane. What can he do? As he invalidates. Turned in too early. Went over the curb. All 4 tyres off. Horosia in the pits. What about Callum? He goes over the chicane pretty well. And now he's just got to navigate his way through 2 corners. And Ben is out on track now. He's just started his lap. Logan's on his out lap with just over 8 minutes remaining. So what about Callum then? 2 corners to go. All about the braking. Make sure you don't turn in that the curb sends your car facing forward. But out of the last corner, let's see, can he get his car into the top 5? He crosses the line. It's a 1 minute 16.9. Unfortunately, he's 2 seconds down. And Chaz F1 will have to be going again. He's already invalidated this one. So, not promising stuff as he straight lines that gravel trap for the championship leader. Ben, what about Ben then? Through the middle sector. Can he take it better than his teammate did on his first run? Yes, he can. But it all seems to be the third chicane of the lap, which is catching people out. Let's see how Ben takes it. Right, then left. And he's taken that perfectly indeed. Purple sets 2. Don't know if we're going to read into much with that one, as he has to just make sure he has some tyre life left to attack these final few corners, get the turn in right. Looks a little scruffy, but Ben 94, after getting his his second podium of the season last time out in Miami, only goes P5, 9/10 off the pace. Let's see, what about the Red Bulls of Logan? Invalid. Ollie, 3/10 up, as he really goes over that curve and somehow doesn't invalidate. He's attacking the corners. Now let's see how well he attacks the third chicane, as he's 3/10 up now. End of sector 2. So this could get him ahead of Ben and maybe even with Seb. Depends how well his final 2 corners are, as he appears from over the track. Make sure not to attack the penultimate as much as others do. Using the track on the outside, using the track on the outside again. And now across the line, it'll be a 1 minute 15.3 to get him up in a P4. Good lap from Ollie on his debut to get ahead of Seb, who's in the pit lane. 6 minutes remain. Lightan pits, he didn't improve. Frozen in the pits. Don't think he even went out during all that, but he might have. Cody on his outlap again, potentially. We got Hirosier on an outlap as well, and the Red Bull of Ollie just doing his outlap. Happy with that lap, hopefully. But can anyone challenge BRL Frozen? We know Cody has the potential to. We know Chaz potentially does. Maybe Hirosier, but he hasn't been on the greatest form this season compared to last. Maybe it's the new game. But yeah, they're all in the pits nearly, waiting for those final few moments. I'm still not over that. Like, they were heading through this bit where Hirosier's just going through towards in the final sector, and it just suddenly started raining instantly. I'll have to watch that back, and I thought, oh, it's raining, Cody's going to be on pole, everyone else doesn't have a lap time, so there will be some sort of quali left, but it just didn't rain. Anyway, Hirosier through turn 1 and 2. It's a bumpy and not a very well done turn 1 and 2. 3 is pretty much flat and easy to get right. Now through 4, how much does he want to take? Back end snapping a little bit. He's not happy, but with a 24.3, he's still got time to find. Going very wide of the hairpin. His first lap this will hopefully be. Now as close to the grass as you want, but then quick turn in, which he hasn't done great. Now through the corners that keep attacking. Probably the hardest bit to get right of the whole track. He's taking it very cautiously to make sure he at least gets a valid lap time on the board. Now through the final chicane. How much does he want to take? A 50.7. He's about 1.7 seconds down at the moment as he really rides the curb. As he appears now, heading down into the final couple corners. How's his braking? It's pretty good to attack the curb. And now you do it all again. And you come across the line. Looks like a 1 minute 16.005. 1.2 seconds down. And does he have enough time to get back in the pit lane and set another lap? I believe he does. 3 minutes 50. It'll be nip and tuck as Pro Cody, didn't even realise that, has gotten within half a tenth of BRL Frozen. But he stays where he is. That's why we didn't notice. But the ones who have a job to do, Chaz has to get a lap time on the board. Billy also, and Logan just hasn't decided to come out all session. Still waiting if Oren is able to join. Verifying files or something. Go away. Nope. Right, Lightan. Let's see what he can do then. Heading through the second chicane. How much does he want to risk? This will be his final flying lap. because he does not have enough time to get back in the pit lane. And he's 3 tenths up. He's into the 29.9s, but it's still a tenth off what the 29.8s of Frozen and Cody were setting. Now let's see, how much does he want to risk through the middle sector? Once again, he's not attacked the inside curve, which can gain you a lot of time. He's got a slow Ferrari in front of him of Callum. Does he get out the way? Does he get in his way? At the moment, he's still in front, so doesn't have to give way. And he's still not giving way. This is going to be a nuisance to Lightan, who's only a tenth and a bit up now. Even though he's not holding him up, it's going to be surely a distraction for Lightan, who heads through the final few corners now. A little bit of slipstream even, he's going to help. But does he get out the way? He's going to have to, but he still maintains that Ferrari in front of the Williams, and it's just a blockage at this point. Now it's become a blockage, and either he's stupid or blind or both, because Lightan crosses the line, and yeah, big surprise, he doesn't improve. And that is probably Lightan's quali over, unless he was fueled for another run, which normally you wouldn't, because you don't normally get those kind of blockings. But anyway, let's see who else can do a lap time. Everyone's still in the pit, so getting ready to go on that out lap. Did Cody make it in? Yeah, look at that. Suited and booted, already out into turn 1. And because there's a yellow being caused, there we go. We have 1 minute 40 seconds. There's Logan. Finally we get to see him. He is alive. That Ferrari does have mirrors, right? Yeah, so... Right, Chaz into turn 1 and 2 on his outlap. Championship leader by 17 points. He finished 7th to Frozen being P6. It was a very unusual result for the top 2. You'd expect them in the top 5, but those kind of races happen. He's right behind Seb, who's going to be gearing up for his final run. And it is very interesting to see the likes of Lightan and Cody, to see what they can do. And Seb gaining in the championship as, whoa, Herosia off into the gravel there on his outlap. So is that Callum just heading out now? He's got 50 seconds, so the math isn't mathing, but yeah, I don't think cutting that's going to help you too much. But now across the line then, Lightan staying out. Here we go then, Lightan is going to go again. He did have enough fuel, so his quali isn't over. What about Cody? He's crossing the line now. Frozen, he's a 10th up. So here we go then. Cody into turn 1. How much can he take? How much is he going to risk? He goes over the yellow curbs, as we've got a yellow from Callum. Cody really attacking the corners as he flicks it left, flicks it right, not taking too much of the inside curve. Has he improved? He's 66 thousandths down. He can probably still find more time. What about Lightan? Ollie's at nearly a tenth and a half up, so he could definitely get himself confirmed onto the second row. Seb now heading through the first few corners. Ben, his finish will be 6th. Herosia's finish will be 7th. Callum finish will be 9th. And Billy, without a time, will be 11th. That means Logan has the invitation to move up the order. Now we see the McLarens of Callum pitting. And BRL Frozen across the line. He goes even quicker. 14.3. 4 tenths clear. And it is a 5th pole in a row. Unless Pro Cody can deny him. He's a 10th up. He will need a superhuman final sector to find 3 tenths. But we've seen it before in real life. So here we go then, final 2 corners for Pro Cody. What about Lightan though across the line? 14.3 is the target. He comes across the line. It's not even P2 by 9 thousandths. He misses out. But Pro Cody across the line improves by 2 tenths. Brilliant final sector, but it's not absolutely jubilous. But it will be the front row for Pro Cody to get within 2 tenths of BRL Frozen as Seb crosses the line. P6 and Chaz F1 will also join Billy as being a driver to not set a lap time. He will start 11th, while his title rival at the moment in this stage of the championship has made history, made tier 2 history, and has got his 5th pole in a row. So yeah, wow, BRL Frozen for the 5th race in a row on pole position. You just gotta look at it and, oh, it's not like, because it's tier 2, it's not like it's a mega amount he's getting pole by. It's just the right margin, and Frozen's the exact kind of driver for that, I think. But Cody, once again, making sure he gets that margin as he gets another P2 like Baku. Lightan P3. Ollie on debut, P4, and Logan right at the end. The Red Bulls came in clutch to get 4th and 5th. Seb, the lead Alfa Romeo in 6th. A second off, though, however. And Ben, a second off his teammate after he said Emilia was one of his favourites from that on paper, doesn't look great, but quali's one thing, the race is another. And then Erosia, Callum, the other Callum, and then Chaz and Billy. 11th and 12th outside the top 10 with no time. I am going to take a photo of the grid because we do have formation lap on. I can't even pause it yet to get a photo. But we do have formation lap on, so if a safety car does emerge after the lights go out, just in case. There we go. Alright, all good, all good, all good. Hope everyone's having a good evening. Everyone on mediums? Anyone going to try anything? Obviously, at last race, yeah, last race everyone started on the same tyre, apart from Callum in P9. He went for the softs. Didn't work out. Yeah, Chaz isn't happy about that quali. Pranav or Laitan is saying thanks for the block, because honestly, that was ridiculous. And here we go then. Formation lap. Wait, what? I guess there's no formation lap. When we restarted, I didn't include it. Oh well, 5 lights on. As the revs rise, Frozen on the left, Cody on the inside. And they're immediately going to have to turn left as it's lights out. And away we go. And what a start from Lightan, who gets immediately blocked by Frozen onto the grass. Once again, he's not got the greatest start, but Pro Cody's going to go wheel to wheel with him into turn 1. Is it Frozen? Is it Cody? Into turn 1. Cody on the inside bangs wheels with Frozen, but he keeps the lead because Pro Cody has unfortunately been spun round after the contact. Frozen leads them from Lightan from 7th to 3rd ahead of Ollie, and also Logan dropping down, and into the wall is Callum, and the other Callum is out of the race already, and that does cause a safety car. So unfortunate for many drivers there. Taze Frozen once again not getting the getaway. It allowed Lightan to nearly get both of them, but Frozen held him off, and then Frozen with Pro Cody went wheel to wheel. And it was actually Cody who stuck it around the outside. He banged wheels with Frozen. Don't know if the room was left, but it left him. Spun round after the contact and down in last. Callum, I think, stays where he is in 10th. Yep. Hirosi's lost a place. Logan's lost 3 places. Chaz is up 4 places. Billy, once again, on the opening lap, the biggest gainer. That's probably because he starts at the back all the time, so he's got the most to gain. But Ben up by 2 positions. Ollie staying where he is. Good on him. Seb, once again, both Alfa Romeos making up a lot of ground. Lightan, even though he'll be unhappy, he got cut off right at the start. He'll be happy that he survived in his second. And Frozen pits. No, he doesn't need dummies. Lightan in. That was right to the extreme. Anyone is pitting? Yeah, Logan. Don't know if he has damage. Hirosia stays out. Callum stays out. Pro Cody's coming in. Right, let's check the reactions. Yeah, sorry, there was a oh, Ben and Billy. Ben was ahead of Billy. And Billy's and Chaz have had a collision. Hirosia and Chaz have had a collision. Something's gone on. Billy and Chaz are mates, so I don't know what's going on there. But that has given the championship leader a penalty. So Logan and Cody onto hards. Right, here we go. Yeah, so on the original lobby, the formation lap was on. On this lobby, I guess it's just not. But, oh well. Dickhead. Oh. So, yeah, that happened. People complaining once again. Cough, cough, as he's into the pits to serve it. So, yeah, Lightan is ahead of Frozen under safety car. Seb still third. All of them still how they are. So, Erosia is serving his penalty and changing his wing. And Chaz. Right, so Logan pitted again. He went medium, hard, medium, so now he can do what he wants for the rest. Cody stayed out on the hards. He's the only person on the hards. Hiroshi and Chaz, yeah, they've gone medium, medium. They just want to both get that 5 seconds out of the way, which is pretty smart. Right then. Anything else? Tyres, stops. Oh, that's what's happened. Great. Oh, right as the safety car comes in. Great. That's going to be unfortunate for Callum, who's... Well, that's going to... Great. He's out of the race and he's left. I thought he was still in. My bad. Anyway. I thought he was still in, so I invited him. Anyway, Lightan will get this restart underway then. Overtaking Frozen during the safety car may be investigated, so we'll keep that in the back of our minds if Lightan will get a penalty. But yeah, Ben and Callum already overtaking his teammate. Here we go then, Tier 2 back underway. Into Turn 1, they're already wheel to wheel, and Lightan stays ahead of Frozen as Seb stays ahead of Ollie, as Ben gets ahead of Billy, as Cody has been spun again. As Callum now down to 10th. Right then, here we go then. Seb from Ollie, from Ben, from Billy, from Erosia and Chaz making their way back up. Logan letting them through, I think. And then, no, Logan pitted again. And then Callum, again, stays where he started. And then Pro Cody, once again, just can't get a restart going his way. I think he got tagged from behind. So Lightan leads this race just ahead of Frozen, who's eager to get on with it as his rival's teammate is right behind him. And then comes Ollie ahead of Ben, ahead of Billy. So Rosier's on the back of him. Put it at that for now. Right. As here comes Hirosia then on Billy, using his ERS to get ahead. And he does just that. All three of them had some kind of collision under the safety car, which gave 2 of the 3 a penalty. And now it seems like Chaz, that might be a warning, is now behind Billy to try and overtake him as well. Now into Turn 1. Here comes Frozen then using his ERS. He has to go to the outside. Lightan on the inside. Will he send it fully around the outside? They break pretty much evenly. And this time Frozen does get the move. Goes over the curb. Loses the rear. This will invite Lightan to maybe have a go. Invite Lightan to maybe have a go. But Frozen takes the lead of the race. And look at this 4-car train as Seb is all out of shape. And Ollie's right on the back of him. A podium potentially on debut would be brilliant for the Red Bull. Look how all of them are struggling. Also overcast conditions like qualifying, and no one's really getting away from the other as Ben's leading his train of his own. But yes, Frozen has got the lead back and is back in to P1 ahead of Lightan. He got the move. He did the move that Pro Cody tried to do. But yeah, unfortunately, he's now got the most ground to make up. That might be a warning. It's him and Callum pretty much separated from the rest of the field. Nose to tail. Same ERS. As Frozen really wants to break out of the 1 second window. Ollie really close to the back of Seb. Showing good promise so far. As Ben has kind of caught up in terms of the fact he's now within a second as Cody has got Callum. That's 1 down, 9 to go. DRS enabled, so it won't be enabled for this lap on this straight, but for next lap it will. Doesn't matter for Erosia as he's on the move once again, trying to get past Ben. And he does that. Into P5 on the newer mediums. Only a few laps, but shouldn't make too much of a difference. As Callum's coming back at Cody. Cody round the outside. Does get the move done this time, but once again over the curb. And allows Callum to come back at him. Cody just can't get, as he's weaving there. As Ben comes back at Erosia, they're wheel to wheel. But Ben has to fall behind. Callum still keeping Cody on his toes, which is going to anger him. Chaz all over the back of Ben. Oh, and he slightly makes contact, but Ben corrects it to make sure nothing horrible happens. Could be so much later on the break. He has more pace, but will he wait? He's already down to 30%, and he just has to hold for now. As 7/10. Has Lighthand be using a bit more? Yeah, just a bit. Then Frozen to keep within, as DRS will now be activated. And will Ollie get past Seb? Everywhere you look, battles. Lighthand will just about get DRS to keep him within a second of Frozen, which will really help him out. So Seb ahead of Ollie, but it looks like Chaz is going to be the one to make the move as Callum gets a 3-second. Billy gets overtaken by Logan as Ben gets back ahead of Erosia. Chaz was meant to get past Ben, but because Erosia's not within a second, that might give Chaz damage. But because Erosia was not within a second, that allowed Ben to gain, and because of that rear snap, Chaz is going to get even more annoyed. As looking at that turn in, I think he does have damage. Can't visually see it. But yeah, Erosia has lost the rear. But yeah, Logan got past Billy. Cody ahead of Callum, who's for some reason a 10th ahead, but I think he sped and got a 3-second. As Chaz now gets past Erosia, who goes off. That's an unusual place to make a move, but he's done it. Just like Cody, Erosia's doing a little weave there. As Chaz now gets a time penalty. Bad day gets worse. Surprised Cody hasn't got one yet, but he's pushing. He's keeping within the confines, barely. As Lightan is a second behind, but he's going to get DRS because of the detection point. Seb isn't, and this could allow Ollie to get him. As he's flashing, he's used everything. He's using what's left, and Ollie's biding his time, not using his ERS, and it may still be enough. He goes around the outside of Seb, and Seb breaks later to hold off P3. No changes further behind. We're on lap 8 of 32. When I started this stream, I wanted to say 29 for some reason, but that was Miami. Right, Lightan still just about keeping within a second. ERS staying the same between these two. Seems like Frozen just has the edge, as Seb is all over the show. And Ollie really wants to get this moving on because he knows Ben and behind may catch up. Seb sliding out, and he goes defensive even during the technical part. He doesn't want Ollie getting ahead, and it's holding him up massively. You can see Ben's gaining tenths. And does Ollie try anything? Does he wait for the DRS? He does indeed. As look at that, Lightan right on the back of Frozen. And we could be seeing a change in leadership once again. Yep, I think Frozen did make a mistake as Ollie has got past Seb for P3, but Seb will come back at him surely with the DRS, unless they hit the detection point. They did hit the detection point, and because Seb's already gone to the gravel, that has let Ollie streak away. And now I think Lightan's too far behind, but now we're going to see behind Chaz versus Ben. Chaz on the inside, Ben on now behind him. And here comes Erosia too. Ben is getting absolutely swamped, but Ben breaks later to cover off Erosia, who's still there, going to keep his wheel in and gets tagged and nearly spun. Good correction to not fully spin round, still faces forward. Very hard racing, questionably over the edge, but he keeps ahead. Chaz now into P5. Will Seb let him go? Seb's struggling here, and it's not doing his teammate any favours either, as it's brightening up. That's good to see. So yeah, Ollie pressured Seb into a mistake, got him after the detection point, heading into the penultimate corner. You can see on your mini-map there the green and yellow dots. As now Seb, both Alfa Romeos, get a penalty. Seb goes off, and now we will let him go, because both Alfa Romeos are struggling as it is. They don't need to add more fuel to the flame. Billy now 3 seconds down in 9th. Cody has caught him, and he's not a million miles off these lot, so Cody could still do something. As Lightan 7 tenths with a bit more ERS than Frozen. will just stay behind him. But you never know. He has to win this race by at least 5 seconds to be, I guess in our eyes, the guaranteed winner, because he still could get some sort of penalty. But we'll have to see. It could have been his fault, could have been Taser's fault, who knows. But I didn't see. As Billy is off. Don't know if that was on his own or Cody has made some sort of error. But I'll tell you who's made an error. It's Ben going deep as Seb gets back ahead. Ben tried to move, but once again, it failed as Billy, for the 5th time after his pirouettes, has finally regained control. We'll head into the pits. Don't know if he'll retire. But yeah, awful for Ferrari at their home race. Well, one of their home races, as Ben is still behind. There we go, Billy has retired. So everyone currently racing will score points. So will Chaz hunt down Ollie? Or does Ollie have the pace to keep out of a second gap? As lagging there is Ben. Oh, Billy. Oh, wait, no. I'm not going to do it again. He's left. He's out. I don't have to invite him back. Right then. Who's within a second? This little train, I guess. But I'll tell you who's not now within a second is Lightan, 1.3. He's lost some ground. Oh, he's lost a lot of ground! He's spun! Out to the final corner, Lightan. And that's lost in P2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. And now he's down to P7, and it may even be losing P7 because Logan now is ahead of him, and Lightan, as Ben now gets ahead of Seb. Seb struggling more and more, and because of that losing more ground. But we've seen a spin as Seb gets right on the edge there. Lightan unfortunately has spun. Oh, and going very wide there is Seb onto the gravel, which gives the invitation to Erosia now, as Seb is just falling more and more down the field. That allows Ollie up into P2. This allows Taste Frozen to breathe, as Cody now unfortunately gets his first penalty. A podium on debut, well, a win on debut like we saw for Lightan, has unfortunately ended one race later with him spinning. It's not over yet. We've still got we're just past a third of the way done, and pit stops and all that are still yet to come out. But yeah, Frozen has only converted one of his last 4 poles into victory. This is his 5th in a row. Oh, that the background of that looks a little shaky, like rain in overcast conditions. Maybe I don't know. I really do not know what happened about 20 odd minutes ago with that. But anyway, Ollie, like the original point I was going on, keeping cool in P2. Chaz has gained a few tenths on him. Seb, once again, another penalty. Emilia track limits are going to be really getting on some people's nerves. But here comes Logan then. Will he try and move? Nope. I'd argue Logan's probably one of the cleanest overtakers. He knows when to give in, leave space. He isn't really involved in too many collisions unless he's made a mistake and someone else falls through it. But yeah, as Lightan's sliding out, we'll have to try and get him, but he's in a DRS train led by Ben. Actually, now led by Erosia because he's outside of a second. Callum, if he just continues the rest of the race, he can get a point. Cody, still 7 seconds behind this slot. And Chaz, just outside of a second, but he is slowly gaining on Ollie. Won't be a pen for Lightan. Was the same as Adam and Thies last week. Oh, was Frozen in AI or no, wait. Well, I'm just going to believe Will on that. So, I'm trusting my sources. So, if that's all fine, I mean, this was during when, if Lightan would win. If he gets P8, I don't think it'll matter too much if he gets a penalty or not. So, anyway, you never know if it's tier 2, what could happen. Lightan could find himself first in the next lap. As pit stops are coming out, Seb is the first of this bunch anyway. But it doesn't look in doubt at the moment. I've missed. Okay, Frozen got a penalty. Didn't even see that. But, okay. I swear, if we're about to get 2 back-to-back winners on debut. Quick check. A little warning on 6. Was it an actual one? It was. Ooh. Come on, Ollie. Right, Frozen then. Leading the way at the moment he would win. But Ollie keeping the gap, actually. He's extended by a 10th ahead of Chaz. As Callum gets his 3rd penalty. Ben kind of in no man's land at the moment. Erosia they're all starting to gap out a bit to each other, apart from Logan, who's under pressure from Lightan, who goes a little wide there. Cody 3 seconds. He's gaining, is Cody, a second or two. Not every lap, but it's Erosia now. They're falling one by one. Is there going to be anyone left in this race at the end who doesn't have a penalty? Is going wide is Logan. So 6 of the 10 have penalties. 4 still don't. As I'll tell you what, Ollie is gaining on Frozen. Few tenths here. Chaz, gap staying the same. Ollie could be finding himself in familiar territory by the end of this season. As Ben is into the pits, let's see if Seb will undercut him. Can't remember if he was ahead or not, but he comes out behind Lightan, who pits now. Going to try and undercut some more people too. Puts the hard compound tyres on the top 5. Remember, Logan pitted twice under safety car, so did Erosia, and so did Chaz. So Ollie and Frozen haven't pitted yet, but obviously Chaz and Erosia aren't going to make, and Logan aren't going to make those mediums last all race. Surely not. They can if they want. Wait, no, they can't. Erosia and Chaz have gone medium, so yeah. Logan, however, yeah. You never know. But pit stops should be coming out soon for them anyway. Jaden switched his camera to Lightan and said, Lightan has lost some ground here. And then, yep. As Chaz gets... Quick change there. Yep, Chaz gets his second penalty. Check at the chats. Okay. Right then. Who's in? It's going to be Ollie. As Taze stays out. As he locks up. That means he's running no OBS, I think. Yeah, of course it does. As he's in the pits with Chaz. Erosia stays out. Logan stays out, and Cody is ahead of them all. He did pit, right? Oh my god, Cody has pit. Wait, what? Yes, he has pitted. So you never. That's what I said. Never mind. Right then, Ollie and Chaz coming out. There's Ben ahead of Seb. Looks like a bit of gravel on Ben's tyres. Lightan has lost some ground to them. But anyway, coming out the pits, Ollie and Chaz, quite clear of Ben. They're all pretty much in their own bracket. No one really within a second besides Seb to Ben. Right then, we're about to approach the halfway stage. Taze Frozen with a time penalty. Erosia with a time penalty. Red Bull's keeping their noses clean at the moment. That looked a little slow. Pro Cody, 3 seconds at the moment. Chaz, 6 seconds, same with his teammate, but the most of anyone. Callum, I guess 6 seconds when if he serves his 5 second for speeding. Yeah, it was speeding. Right then, into the pits. BRL Frozen at the halfway stage, and followed in is Erosia and Logan. So Frozen should remain in the lead. However, you never know with this game. Newer tyres are always really good for an undercut. So we'll see what the gap is. As the gap has stayed the same. In fact, it's gotten a tiny bit bigger between Ollie and Chaz. Frozen comes out the pits. And there you'll see in the background the Red Bull emerging. There's Taze as Lightan sets the fastest lap. Ollie has gained on Taze. He's about halved the gap, essentially, from 3.2 to 1.5. As Ben stays ahead of Seb. Lightan was about 2.5 behind, now 1.7. He's slowly gaining on them. As it's a Williams 7 and 8. Erosia and Logan. And all of these guys now should take their tyres to the end. Maybe not Callum. And Cody's an interesting one. He pitted on lap 2. No way he's going to take those hards! Not again! Pro Cody's out! And you thought Lightan was a jinx. Pro Cody, no way he's going to take those hards to the end now because he has lost the rear. He has crashed. Pro Cody from the lead is out of this race. And that is a safety car. You can't write it. Oh my god. So everyone's pitted. This doesn't really benefit anyone. The only person it will benefit are 2 areas. The ones who don't have penalties and Callum. Because it will allow him to catch up. It'll allow Erosia, I guess. It'll allow Lightan to catch up. Helps Ollie. What a jinx. I need to say what people... I know I'm cursed. This is crazy. But so we've lost Callum, who crashed on the opening lap. We've lost Billy, who spun at the final corner and then ended up just giving up and retiring. Laitan did a similar thing as what's going on there? He's in the pits along with Seb. And we've now lost Pro Cody from the lead of the race. The most unfortunate jinx timing. Oh yeah, Cody. Yeah, he'll probably definitely not make though. Oh no, now definitely won't. So unfortunate for Pro Cody. Really unfortunate, because he did say Emilia was. It looked like it was going to be his race to win, and after battling Taze on the opening lap and spinning around already, you knew this race was going to be quite the jinx for him. And yeah, that's ended in the worst way possible. One of those things where we'll never know what could have happened. Yeah, Chaz might not be too far off that. Seb, Lighton and Callum. Obviously they're on medium, so obviously at the restart they're going to be good. But oh. Alright, no one overtake him this time, please. So obviously, yeah, the mediums, well, maybe not all three of them, maybe these two, will allow them to gain ground. Seb, I don't know if he's had the pace enough. Lightan, definitely. But can they make it to the end? The safety car will help that. And as much as, well, Frozen and the others did take mediums, however many laps. Oh god, why is that crackling? So they can make it per se. They are not going to be in the greatest form right at the end. But Herosia, taking the gamble, is going to do the same. As Frozen's back in, that's good to see. Yeah, game crashed. The luck that it's under safety car at least. What's he done this time? Jinx somebody unimportant. Jinx Seb. Can I jinx the safety car? Yeah, this Ollie bloke is pretty decent. And at the moment, he's going to win. Qualified 4th, I think. Yeah. Kept his nose clean. Has he got any more warning? Oh dear. Lap 13. So is he 1 away now? Okay. Right, safety car's in this lap then. Ollie is 1 warning away from a penalty. A penalty that could deny him a first race win, but nonetheless, if he gets a podium, that would be brilliant. Ben, you never know if he has the pace. Obviously, his hards are the oldest of the top 4, of the top 5. Actually, of everyone. His tyres are the oldest, end of. But here we go then. Frozen will lead them away. DRS will not be activated until lap 20, 21, maybe around about then. Right, he's going to go now then. Ahead of Ollie, ahead of Chaz, ahead of Ben. And Logan's not had the greatest getaway. He's going to have Seb. And already wheel-to-wheel with him is Lightan. And wheel-to-wheel is his teammate with Callum. So heading down into turn 1. Any moves at the front? It seems like Chaz is just going to hold off Ben onto the grass. Logan ahead of Lightan. Or is he, as Lightan sends it as Seb goes straight on as Lightan has been tagged. And now he loses ground all the way down to P8 as Seb is off into the gravel. Lightan down to 8th. And Ollie and Taze now battling for the lead. Unfortunately, Ollie onto the gravel nearly has lost ground, and now Ben on the inside. Taze keeps hold of the lead. Ollie tried to move into the second chicane. It didn't work out. Didn't quite fully catch it. That allows Seb, well, he's in 9th, and Callum has lost ground to Lightan up into 7th as he got tagged. Herosia in 6th on the back of Logan for 5th. Ben just keeping his cool then in 4th. Ollie, unfortunately, has only lost, and there it is. He's lost a place, and now he's lost the chance of the win because he's now behind someone who has got the same penalties as him. But a podium may still be on, but that is the 3 seconds for Ollie. Chaz then has been promoted up to second. Callum gets another time pen. We'll switch to that. 9 seconds now, but that leads the top 2 in the championship, facing wheel to wheel then. As we start lap 19, Taze Rosen versus Chaz F1. First and second in the championship are second and first. Say it again. Second and first in the championship are first and second. And now let's see if Chaz has the pace. Erosia gets past Logan, goes over the curb massively. And that was the 3 seconds any day of the week. As Laitan has to make his way up. Now or never on those mediums. He'll have to try and move. Maybe not in a straight for Logan, who's really messing him up. And that's why. Catching everything. Well, nearly. Logan with a Senna looking helmet, I think. Right behind Erosia on 6 seconds now. Erosia leading everyone behind him in a train. And then becomes the other train in front of him. Ben, once again, just in no man's land. Right, yeah, DRS, yeah, lap 21 will be activated. So, Taze, as much as he has the win at the moment looking well, because he's now over 3 seconds ahead of the person who behind who has no penalties, it's not fully set in stone yet. But he has the pace over Chaz at the moment, like he has done at most races, but unfortunately something's always happened, because Chaz is the only person this season to finish in the points every race, I believe. Well, obviously Taze didn't attend one of the races, as going off is Callum. That's probably what kept him 17 points behind. Anyway, Callum with Seb, not going great so far, as Laitan gets past Logan. Lets him go, the Williams on the move. Now what do they do? Whereas you can see Laitan's quicker. Will he let him go? That's not the definition of letting your teammate go. That's the opposite, holding him up. But yeah, Ollie not giving this one up. He knows if he can get 3 seconds to Ben, which it looks likely at the moment with 11 laps to go, he knows he can beat Chaz if they stay like this, because Chaz has more penalties. But it will not be the win, it will be P2, which would still be amazing. But Frozen at the moment, not set a foot wrong, besides 3 times when he went off and got a warning. But in terms of his position, it's looking alright. Ben, the only Mercedes left then, is just going to have to stay calm, pick up the pieces. Kind of like Miami. Once again, not going to invite him. So going over the curb there was one of the Williams. Going off there is Callum. And looks like Laitan's going to have to do this the hard way and get past him without him letting him go. Holding him up. 3 seconds now, nearly 4 to the next car. And Laitan will surely get past his teammate here with the helpful hand of DRS. Here we go, the Williams swap. There he goes. Erosia doesn't fight it. Laitan up in a 5th. And Seb has caught this little train as he's left Callum in the dust. Taze from Chaz, from Ollie. 7 tenths and 7 tenths split them. Pretty even. This is a very nice battle we're seeing. And once again, another person in the fight. Laitan last week, Ollie this week. It's great to see. And yeah, he has ditched Ben now of 3 seconds. And Ben is going to slowly be caught by these lot. But remember, Laitan was going off there. Is Erosia struggling? So Logan and Seb are on the back of him. And Logan may even try and make a move. Let's just get forced onto the grass there by Erosia, just closing the door more and more, even though Logan's there. I'm guessing Logan's going to back out anyway, because it's smarter to just get the DRS here, but yeah, that could have ended badly. But it didn't, so they resume. And resuming at the front, I can still hear crackling. I hope it's the game, not the stream. Will, let me know if you're needed. Let me know if the stream's messed up. I think it's just the game. The gap between the top 3 was 7 tenths between both. Now it's 5 tenths. Back to 7 then. Chaz gaining bit by bit on Taze, putting him under pressure. That is what Ollie will want. If Taze can get more warnings, that could lead him to 6 seconds, which would put Ollie back in a winning position. But if there is another safety car, this guy's going to win if they do not get a move on. well, if there's another safety car, they're all going to pit for softs, nearly. Unless there's one now, which that better not be a jinx. Oh my lord! Sliding out to the corner exit is the other Mercedes, heading through the bit where Cody crashed. Nope, nothing doing this time. Right, so yeah, Laitan and Erosia and Seb and Callum on the mediums. They should reach the end, but not in great condition. And if they're already going off now, then that's pretty worrying. That allows the top three to streak away. And I'll tell you what, Chaz has either messed up somewhere or he's just had a really bad lap. Whatever the case, he's flashing, and this is going to allow Ollie to now get within the rear end of Chaz, and now millimetres away from his front wing and tyres, gets in a P2. Now he's on the charge, only a second behind Frozen. Ollie is up into second then, ahead of Chaz. But Chaz is going to stick with him and potentially come back at Logan. Being done by Erosia around the outside. Logan tried to move, but Erosia fought back. And now Seb is going to have a go on Logan round the outside, but he can't find a gap. But he's sticking to the back of the Red Bull. You have to watch your braking. You have to watch your positioning when you're that much quicker than a car in front. And Logan has just given Seb the perfect demonstration of what to do when you're so damn slow that you have to go into another different line to get past. And yeah, that's what Seb's done. He's got past Logan. But Erosia keeping them together because he's just not pulling away. Laitan already gapped them by 6 seconds. He's gapping them enough to now be within a second of Ben for P4. Chaz right on the back of Ollie. 2 seconds now behind Taze Frozen once again. He hasn't had to do anything. As we saw that in the background. Chaz has got a third penalty. But with it will come DRS and get back ahead of Ollie. Ollie. Oi, oi, oi. But yeah, he's just going to have to stick behind Chaz once again. Yeah, like I was saying, Taze hasn't had to do anything as the people behind him have just blinked first as Laitan has been overtaken. Or should I say is overtaking Ben, but he keeps his nose in and he's still going to fight this. They're wheel to wheel then. The Williams and the Mercedes, they head through the second chicane. Ben keeps his nose in there. They're still wheel to wheel. Round the outside goes Ben ahead, but he has to go onto the curb and he backs off. Brilliant racing as Laitan gets in a P4. He had to work a little bit harder than he thought he would. He went round the outside. Ben stuck his nose in there and he still kept it going for a further 3 corners. That was amazing. But Laitan has got the job done. And now, here comes the second bit, streaking away outside of a second, but with no ERS pretty much, and with Ben still having half of his, that might not be such an easy task. Right, Frozen, 2.5, 7 laps to go then. And Ollie, at this rate, will probably be trading places with Chaz every lap. Let's go back to penalties as Erosia. Oh, has a collision with Seb through the chicane, and they're connected, which is allowing Logan to get them both. He went off track. I don't know if he got any illegal overtake. That's allowed Callum even to get them both. That, you know, you've lost a lot of time when then. But Ollie, yeah, like we thought, has got past Chaz into turn 1. As Callum, even through all that, has got a penalty onto the gravel. Seb gets back ahead, and this should allow Erosia back ahead, even though he doesn't have DRS. Yeah. So Callum's still going to blast his to stay ahead. Erosia opts for the outside. Callum does have the slip of Ben, but now it turns to Erosia. And Callum brakes massively late. What on earth? Seb did brilliant there to avoid that red hazard. But yes, Seb in front of Erosia. What on earth? Right then, Erosia and Seb streak away then. There's braking late. There's dive bombs. There's Danny Rick dive bombs. But then there's that. Right then, Logan and Ben, the only 2 to not have a penalty so far. If there is a safety car, yeah, you always know with Logan. That's one of his strengths. As I said earlier, he knows when to battle and when to give in or go for it. But another one of his strengths is not getting penalties. And at the moment, I swear to God if this is a jinx, but at the moment he's he's doing well for himself. And like I said, if there is a safety car, he's going to get another surprise podium. Rosie's got a third pen now. Ben not falling massively away from Laitan. He is outside the second, so he can't get back at him. But I'll tell you what, Ollie has got past Chaz, but Chaz hasn't got back past Ollie. So, and it isn't like Frozen's miles away as well. The gap has only increased by like a few tenths as If Erosia retires, that's a bit stupid. He would get in. It's guaranteed points, but he speeds, and he might go for the fastest lap. Why not? So good on him for not retiring. 15 seconds, and Chaz now goes into double digits. 12 seconds. He might not even end up on the podium at this rate. You never know. Lightan could still get it. That would be a great comeback after spinning. Fighting Frozen for the win. He could have fought Frozen for the win right now, but a podium to only lose one place out of all this won't be too bad. You couldn't. I was asking Will if there was anything wrong with the stream, if it was like cackling or something, like making weird noises, because when I ride on board with some people, don't know if you can hear that, but it's dreadful. We got a yellow, and it is Chaz F1. Who's lost a bit of his end plate. He's done a Lightan, but this one might even be even worse. The championship leader goes into the pit lane. 12 seconds of pens, and now with a damaged wing. And with Taze Frozen leading the race, sliding out just about, his championship rival is going to fall down to P8. The three with the most penalties occupy the last three places. And Chaz needs to make sure he finishes within 3 seconds of Callum to at least get P7, back-to-back sevenths. That's not something to be proud of, but at least he can still gain in this race. Seb, will he give up his P6 with all those penalties? It's debatable. It's early in the championship still. Logan gets promoted to 5th then. Ben gets promoted to 4th then. And Lightan doesn't even need to rely on all of Chaz's penalties, because Lightan is now back up into 3rd. And now Ollie. 3 seconds, give or take. If Taze gets another penalty in these final few laps, you never know. Because look, Ollie is gaining time. Is he going to be back within 3 seconds of Taze? It's minuscule, but he's back within, and now he's back out. This is getting very interesting. 4 laps to go then. Oh my god. Whoops. Yeah, maybe Will isn't the greatest person to ask that, but anyway. Ben could still get a podium. It depends if Lightan can gap him by 3 seconds. Logan just in no man's land. In terms of the result, he'll be 9 seconds behind Ben and like 7 seconds clear Seb. The closest battle is still them two, but that's just going to get bigger. Chaz needs to gain 6 seconds in 4 laps. So, it's possible. Like 1.5 per lap. So, as Rosia sets the fastest lap, 17.0. Oh, Ollie's made a mistake somewhere. He's lost a second and a bit. So I think that's going to guarantee Taze Frozen the win. I think we're running out of laps here for any sort of safety car too. I think Taze is about to start the last one. And after that, there'll be no more safety cars. There we go. No more safety cars then. Biro Frozen. It's in his hands now. As Chaz get... Oh, okay. So Chaz, as much as he's gained a whopping 4 seconds, he's going to have to... He might catch Callum on the final lap and get him. But this has turned into an awful afternoon. This has turned into an awful evening for the championship leader. And if it stays like this, 4 points to his 25, 21 gained, you're looking at a potential new World Championship leader. By 4 points, Taze Frozen is going to take the lead of the World Drivers' Championship. If things stay how they are, well, it was 4 points, now it'll be 3 points, and now it's back to 4 points. What on earth? Nah, hang on. He can't be an AI, can he? Or is he... Don't even want... I would say I don't want to even be mean, but the amount of things he's done this race, I will. Nah, surely not. I hope Chaz is streaming or someone's streaming, but... Nah, he's got to be an AI. Look how well he's driving. Well, yeah, that confirms. He's in AI. Okay, Chaz gets him. You can see him wobbling. That is 100%. Yep. Callum's in AI. No wonder he's in AI. He hasn't got any penalties for the last however many laps. So, yep, he's probably... I don't know if he'll get disqualified, but he's definitely going to drop down to last. Herosia should get him. 2 laps to go. Right then. Tay's frozen. 5 seconds ahead. Why have I got no audio? Game's just kicked me off. Should join back before Taze wins. Quality game. Who can I join off of? Oh, Tay's frozen. Legend. He's leading the race. He's probably started his final lap, and he, out of the kindness of his heart, has invited me. Legend. So I'm going to gift him back a brilliant ending for his 2nd win of the season and his 2nd win of his career. Right, here we go then. Where are they? Tay's frozen has started the final lap. Seb has set the fastest lap on his mediums. That is a brilliant lap then for Seb. You can see the track evolution. As we got a yellow. Why have we got a yellow? What? Herosia. Well, that won't matter. Right. Right. Okay. I think that's everything. Right, Herosia will get back ahead of Callum, who's maybe in AI, I don't know. Clearly not. Look at the driving. Herosia will get 8th. Chaz will get 7th. Seb will get 6th. Logan and Ben 5th and 4th. Yada yada, we'll find out. But heading through the final 2 corners now. Tay's frozen. 5th pole in a row, he made history, and he's going to turn his 2nd of 5 into victory. Tay's frozen leads the World Championship and wins the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. He comes home for a brilliant result, and McLaren are now on top with Tay's frozen. Ollie on debut will get a brilliant P2 on for a podium. Lightan will come home after his struggles and spins for a P3 to back-to-back podiums on debut. And in your 2nd race, a brilliant result for Williams. Ben will come home P4, 6/10 off Lightan and 6/10 off a podium. Unfortunate, but Lightan had the mediums and lasted them enough for the end to grab hold of P3 and stay there. Logan P5, Seb will finish 6th. Chaz will finish a disappointing 7th and lose the lead in the World Championship, but he will get the fastest lap unless Herosia can get it. And we'll find out, because this is crucial. It's not, and he's clearly unhappy, clearly annoyed with himself. So Chaz gets the fastest lap, so that's 5 points to Taser's 25, gains 20. So Tay's frozen then leads the championship by 3 points ahead of Chaz, but he gets driver of the day because Chaz did start 11th. So, but yeah, good race, fun race. Game decided to kick me out at the end, but whatever. Yeah, Tay's frozen then, winner again this season. So 2 wins for Chaz, 2 wins for Taze. Taze obviously missed a race. And yeah, new podium sitter as well. Ben, well done. Ben. Ollie, well done. As Lightan, good comeback to finish P3. 40 points for him then. Gaining ground as trying to think how many points Taze and Chaz are on. It'll be something like 90 something now. But there you have it. Everyone apart from Ben and Logan getting penalties. And a 14-0. Look at that. The track evolved so much. Or obviously the fuel load also went down massively. What a lap from Chaz to get the fastest lap. Rosia couldn't better it. So Chaz picks up an important point. And Alfa Romeo, well, they did succumb to one Mercedes, but unfortunately the other crashed out. Callum, I mean, if he tries to deny it, then that's just the holy grail of stupid. But yeah, Rosia finishes 8th. Chaz and Seb 7th and 6th. Logan, another top 5. Another solid race for Red Bull. Including Ollie, reserving, gets P2. Helps out Red Bull a bunch. And I think they deserve it. Ben, P3 and P4 in 2 races. Some pretty good points. After clearly not showing enough pace, but he still nearly got a podium. Laitan, great comeback. Starts where he finishes. Finished where he started. Ollie P2 on debut. And Taze Frozen, winner. There's your old race director, because you never know. The amount of penalties there were, maybe one of them's unfair. But, Right then, let's get the top 3 in. Ollie's on. Laitan's great. Okay. Well, at least I can always rely on Taze. Can invite Laitan's other account, maybe. Alright, here he is then. The winner of the Tier 2 Season 7 Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Have you included your audio, mate?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Alright, Taze Frozen. Not only is that your second victory, but you are now leading the World Championship. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I felt good. I mean, taking my my 5th pole in a row. I mean, I was pretty happy with that as well. I mean, I felt pretty comfortable throughout the whole race. Really, I hadn't really much competition apart from probably at the start of the race and the safety car restarts and all. But I mean, I'll still take it. I mean, I'm sad though. Obviously, I'm missing in next week. I'm on holiday, so that'll mean Charles will probably take me again in the championship. But I mean, still a long way to go till the last race of the season. So there's a lot to be done from then.
Indeed, you just kept the pace out in front. Seems like the people behind made more mistakes, which is why they couldn't challenge you. Can you just take us through? I don't know if you just said it, but can you take us through again what happened at turn 1 with Cody?
I mean, I felt like I left him space, and I feel like he spun himself because I did leave him enough space. I think I was on the inside, and I did give him space. I definitely did give him space. I'm not sure if he maybe had a bit of a snap and spun, but I mean, I'm sure he got a clip for it anyway to see what happens.
Yeah, he went around the outside of you into turn 1, and then on turn 2 he was on the inside. You banged wheels, which is I think what sent him into a spin. So, give or take, it could be just maybe a racing incident, but we'll have to look back at it. I'm sure he'll send it in maybe. But anyway, looking further, you had something with Laitan under the safety car. He got ahead of you. Were you in AI or was he in
Yeah, no.
AI? Or?
What I done was I sped way up. Like I just was going really fast in the straight, and then the safety car was in front of me, and I just couldn't get slowed down in time, which meant then Laitan's AI overtook me. So then I was in the second, but I mean it still doesn't matter because I still overtook him the next lap anyway. But still.
So there's no harsh feelings, no worries.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then the final thing, you had Ollie and Chaz right behind you, but they never actually sprung any attack because they ended up battling each other and losing time. Any comment on that, or
yeah, I mean,
skip right past that?
I felt I had the pace to stay ahead of them guys. I mean, once I seen them both fighting, I just knew that I was just gonna get away ahead while they all battled. And then I seen Charles pit as well because he had like 12 seconds of penalty or something. But then he did get
he spun final corner.
Oh, did he spin?
He got
he spun.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I didn't see that, but I mean, he still got the fastest lap, so it's still an extra point towards him. But yeah, all in all, it was a good race.
It was a crucial point as well because he would have been 4 points behind you. Now he's only 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, he lost it final corner, hit the wall, lost an end plate, pitted, and his fastest lap ended up being I think 3 seconds quicker than yours. It just shows the fuel loads and how much the track ramped up. But what was the final one? Yeah, there was one moment I caught from you out of the exit of the second chicane, you sliding towards the end.
Yeah.
Heart in mouth moment.
Yeah, I mean, I had a couple in the whole race, not as much, because I'm still trying to just improve my mid-race pace, because I find that's where I lack, more or less, in...
Yeah, you, Ollie, and Chaz were pretty level for a few laps.
Yeah,
the gap stayed at like half a second.
Yeah, I find myself lacking a little bit in the middle of the race pace, but I mean, still after Charles still calling me up much, but I mean, doesn't really care less.
Is another thing you're trying to improve race starts, because it seems like whoever's alongside you will get a better launch.
Yeah, well, today I actually, because I I thought that there was gonna be there was a formation lap because the last race there was. So
Yeah,
I
my bad.
just wasn't really prepared to go straight away. But then I had to just quickly go on and didn't get the best of starts. But
Mm. Lightan had a little look at you on the inside, but I think you cut him off
yeah, I think I did. Yeah, just tried to
right at the
defend.
start. But I think that'll be all right. Um, yeah. So you lead the championship now by 3 points. You've obviously missed. You've obviously done one less race than Chaz. So how do you think this is going to play out then? Obviously, your goal is to try and get a big enough gap. But if Chaz keeps getting unlucky either by other people or by himself, because it seems like even though you've now made history, by the way, 5 poles in a row, no one's ever done that before. It's only taken like 3 years, but you've converted 2 of the 5 into wins. You've just stayed heavily consistent in terms of good results. Uh, do you think you are a championship contender, 1-2 win?
Well, I mean, I think as I've said before, there is a very long calendar, and there's still a lot more races to go. And some of the tracks are probably going to be in my favor, and some aren't going to be in my favor because I'm sure as both know that some of the tracks on the calendar are definitely not going to be our favorites. I mean, I don't necessarily love Imola, but I do like the track. So I mean, I felt like I performed well today to get a good win and some more points. And as I said, yeah, I'm missing next week because I'm on holidays, so that's going to be Chaz
You're
back.
missing next week.
Yeah, I'm missing next week. I'm on holidays.
Oh, didn't know that.
Yeah.
Will you be back the race after, or are you
Yeah, I should be
missing?
back for the race after, yes.
Okay, so you're missing. Ooh, you're missing Spain.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I'm out of love of Spain, so that's fine.
Oh, okay then. That's fine. Interesting. So Chaz needs a P8 finish pretty much to
Yeah,
reclaim the lead in the.
probably
So
guaranteed that.
interesting. Okay then. We'll find out then. So that's if Chaz races, that's 2 races you're gonna miss compared to Chaz 0.
Yeah.
And I'll mention, because it's a little coincidence, the last 2 seasons, there's obviously been 2 fighting for the title, and one of them has entered every race, and the other one has missed 2 or 3, I think 3, and the one who's missed the races ends up winning. So you never know.
I don't
But
think anything like, but we'll see what
I was jinxing too many people today. I don't want to jinx anyone else. But yeah, well done, mate.
Yeah,
We'll see you
cheers.
next time then for the Spanish Grand Prix. T2S7 championship leader. Let's see what happens next time out in Barcelona.